What if none of this is real? Not in a poetic way, not as a metaphor. What if you, this screen, this moment, are all just code running inside a machine built by something smarter than us? This isn't science fiction. Some of the most serious philosophers and scientists alive today think the probability that we live in a simulation is actually pretty high. And the argument that gets them there is uncomfortably simple. It starts with one assumption, that at some point, whether in 100 years or 1,000, civilizations develop the ability to run detailed simulations of conscious minds. Not video games, not VR, full simulations, where the people inside have no idea they're inside. Now here's where it gets interesting. If that's possible, even once, then think about how many simulations could be running right now. Thousands, millions, an incomprehensible number of simulated realities all humming along simultaneously, and only one real one. So statistically, what are the odds you happen to be in the real one? The philosopher Nick Bostrom formalized this in 2003. He argued that one of three things must be true. Either almost every civilization destroys itself before it develops simulation technology, or advanced civilizations exist but choose never to run simulations for some reason, or we are almost certainly living in a simulation right now. He called it the trilemma, and the uncomfortable part is he couldn't rule out the third option. Neither could Elon Musk, who publicly said the odds were in base reality are 1 in billions. Neither could Neil deGrasse Tyson, who put the probability at 50-50. But here's where AI changes everything. Because we used to talk about this as a distant hypothetical, something that might happen centuries from now. But we are literally building the technology right now. Every time AI gets more powerful, every time a simulation gets more detailed, every time we inch closer to artificial general intelligence, we get closer to the moment where running a conscious simulation becomes possible. Which means we get closer to the moment where Bostrom's trilemma stops being philosophy and starts being physics. And here's the question that keeps me up at night. If we build a simulation detailed enough that the minds inside it are conscious, do we have a moral responsibility to them? Are they real? Are we real? Because here's the thing about simulations. By definition, you can't tell from the inside. Every experience you've ever had, every memory, every emotion, if this is a simulation, all of that was generated. All of it was code. And it felt completely real. So what does real even mean? Some physicists have started looking for glitches, patterns in the universe that look less like natural phenomena and more like the kind of shortcuts a programmer would take to save processing power. The pixelation of reality at the quantum level. The speed of light as a kind of frame rate limit. The fact that the universe runs on mathematics with a precision that feels almost too clean. None of it proves anything. But none of it rules it out either. And maybe that's the most unsettling part. Not that we might be in a simulation, but that we might never be able to know. Descartes sat alone in a room in 1641 and asked, "What if everything I experience is an illusion created by a deceiving demon?" He couldn't disprove it, so he held on to the one thing he was certain of. I think, therefore I am. But here's what Descartes didn't have to deal with. What if the thing doing the thinking was also simulated? AI is forcing us to ask questions that philosophy has been circling for centuries. What is consciousness? What is reality? What does it mean to exist? And for the first time, we're not just asking them abstractly. We're building the tools that could answer them, or prove that the question was never ours to ask in the first place. Are we living in a simulation? I don't know. But I think the fact that we can ask the question and genuinely not be able to rule it out says something profound about where we are right now. What do you think? Is the simulation argument a serious philosophical problem or the world's most elaborate overthinking? Drop it in the comments. I actually want to know.